everyone. Welcome to Brahma Kumaris Silicon Valley to the parenting series, which the topic for which has been healing relationship with kids. Today's class number 2, and we will today focus on instigating the healer within. So when relationships are wounded, unhealed, diseased, how do you heal them? Right? For the body, we have a physical doctor. For some extent, for the mind, we do have a therapist or a psychologist, but really the real healer of all the wounds we the souls might have accumulated in this long journey of life, they can be best healed by our own self. So today's class will focus on how do we instigate this healer that we are, and how do we start healing our own self. As always, we will start with Rajayoga meditation. So please join me in this short meditation. Let's loosen the body by relaxing. Keep the back straight and body as still as possible. Whole day, maybe the whole weekend, we've been busy, especially the mind is caught up in too many things, too many emotions. It's time to get some real rest. For the mind and the body. So dear mind, I the Master wants you to relax. I will ask for your help when I need it. But right now, release all the burdens of the past. People, work, home, the body, the gadgets. Sometimes we are working too hard, trying to change ourselves as per people's liking or our own liking. We find many faults in ourselves and in others. That makes the mind very restless, tired, and frustrated. No matter how hard we try, the mind keeps popping up one after another shortcomings. So in Raj Yoga meditation, we do easy and smart work. First step, we accept that the current self is not perfect. Second step, we look at the real self, the tiny point of light, a star-like being, so who we are. And it's not just a mere understanding that I am a soul, a point of consciousness. What does it mean to be a soul? There are few important points. I am an eternal and imperishable energy that has always been around. I can neither be created nor can I ever be destroyed. I am a deep embodiment of peace, love, and joy. My home is the land of silence, nirvana, same as God's home. God, the ocean of peace, is my parent. This is my true identity, a point of light, eternal and imperishable energy, naturally peaceful, loving, and joyful, child of the highest on high God, ऊंचे ते ऊंचे भगवान की संतान मैं आत्मा हूँ. So as in Raj Yoga meditation, I accept my current imperfect self and I look at my eternal and original form of perfection, divinity, grace, and elegance. I see a gap. I see that I am a caterpillar, a cocoon, and my eternal form is a butterfly with beautiful, colorful wings. Color of every virtue, every God's virtue and power exists in my eternal and original form. I am meant to be a butterfly.
no caterpillar, no butterfly. I generate unshakable faith in God's vision for my true form. As my awareness gets filled with my eternal perfect form, slowly and steadily, every imperfection is erased, and day by day I get cleansed. I'm coming closer to my beautiful butterfly form. No more the hard work of removing imperfection, follies one by one. I wipe all of them away by maintaining unshakable faith that I'm a perfect child, a divine child of the most beautiful, ever beautiful being, God Himself. Thank you, dear God, for helping me see the real self, and in realizing how wonderful my true self is. Welcome everyone to Healing Relationship with Kids. As always, we'll spend about last 10 minutes for a Q&A. So please hold on to your questions till then. So in the last class, we talked about how unhealed, or this word unhealthy, you have the word unhealed there. So unhealed means wounded die, wounded me, which is basically deceased. And that disease is really in the heart of the soul. And when the heart itself is wounded, we forge every relationship through our heart. If the relationship is just physical and there is no connection of emotions, there is no connection of feelings or belongingness, then that relationship, we all know, will not last for long. Physical things never satisfy us for a long time. They are very transient and they keep changing. And that is why there is so much of cheating and dishonesty in today's world in filled in relationships, because it's become very, very physical. So when the heart is connected with other person, that is when a real relationship is forged. Not in the form that relationship I've connected with another person's heart, not with the intention of receiving from them. This kind of relationship also falls under the category of physical relationship, which is unhealthy. Similarly, a relationship where I'm connecting with someone because I don't know how to feel love and respect for myself, but I can feel it easily when someone gives it to me. So I become very, very needy, demanding, and I am literally running somebody in my, um,
under my instructions, or really making them dance under my tunes. So when they don't dance as per my directions, I feel very, very disappointed, or I could also be very angry. So we also talked about how sometimes our definition of respect for the self, again, we don't know how to respect ourselves naturally. We expect others to respect us. And when they don't, we are again feeling wounded. And and this disrespect could be in many different forms. It could be that they don't regard your opinion, your ideas. They're trying to be very bossy, or they're trying to be abusive in the way they are interacting with you. So, all of these things tend to spoil a relationship. So, suppose we have experienced such kind of a relationship. It could be with our own parents, or it could be with our own kids. Sometimes teenage kids might say things that are really very rude. I've had few friends who've been told a lot of hurtful things by their kids, and many times parents get extremely hurt that all life everything we've done is for kids. We've prioritized them, we've worked hard, we've given up our free time, we've given up our desires, we've given up wanting things for ourselves, we've been saving up for them. It's always been them first, and this is what we get. So those kind of things, when you feel that everything you did was a sacrifice, then there is lot of wounds when somebody doesn't return the favor back. So at Brahma Kumaris, we are always taught, if you are giving, that giving should not have the burden of a sacrifice. Such a giving is always only going to cause you a lot of pain, and it also is going to be a burden on the other person. That other person might even tell that had I known you were expecting so much in return, I would have said, hey, you just don't give me anything, I'm fine by not receiving anything, right? So really to understand what it is, when giving, if I'm giving something, there should be lot of inner peace and joy associated with it. But I'm giving because I want to be this really, really, what should I, superwoman, like a person who's just doing everything, sacrifice. A lot of people say sacrifice is the truest form of love. It is indeed, but not when it is shown off. Sacrificing happily because you feel everything is very trivial in front of the kid's need. I can easily give up, I happily give it up, but not because in future I want my child to return the favor of prioritizing me. So giving selfishly and then expecting a lot in return, those kind of things are basically a fertile soil where hurt will easily be created. So let's check, when I'm doing everything for my child, what is the intention behind it? In Hindi, we say, bhav kya hai? What is your uddesh? Motive behind doing anything for your child? Are you doing it? I mean, this itself for parent, it should be easy enough reason. I got them into this world. I'm the facilitator. This child has been entrusted upon me. It is my responsibility to give everything I can to the child. I want to be a beautiful, giving, and caring parent. That is it. After that, when we give so selflessly and with a lot of love and joy, automatically universe returns us everything exponentially. But when there is an intention of selfishness, showing off, putting burdens on others, that kind of giving eventually results in a lot of wounds. So, if for whatever reason this relationship has been wounded, then these are some signs, right? Whether, both the parents are wounded or the child is also feeling hurt, then some of these symptoms that we can catch ourselves that this relationship is really not healed anymore is we are avoiding spending time with the child. We don't like it. We don't look forward to it. Both of us are trying to avoid each other. And whenever I spend time with the child, maybe I do it because, oh my gosh, otherwise I'll be called a bad parent. So I'd rather spend some time. But every time I spend time with my child, I find it very draining. I feel it, I find it to be very exhausting, emotionally exhausting. I don't know what to say to my child. I don't know how to communicate to my child. I feel like a stranger with my child. And child is either does not like to talk to me, seems very withdrawn, wants is always making faces, or is very disrespectful. And I am finding out a lot of important things in my child's life through others. The child has stopped sharing even very important decisions with me. These are all symptoms that the relationship is wounded, that the child and parents are not getting along well. In fact, it's not just parent child. I think this is for any relationship. If you are avoiding each other, this could be that you've broken a relationship with some other person. You are physically trying to avoid them. Everywhere they go, you try to avoid it. Then you know that this is such a wounded relationship. But the biggest problem is physically, you might avoid every relationship that is wounded. The mind keeps reminding, they did this, they shouldn't have done this, why did they do to you? Until we don't heal it, this mind will time and again remind us. Any history that is not settled will keep unsettling the mind. So the healer within needs to be instigated, and it needs to heal this relationship. If it doesn't, the mind will continue to be very unsettled, and we will be very restless, distracted. So, obviously, healing cannot begin till hurting ends, right? If I'm still in hurting, if my kids' words, their gesture, their behavior, whatever that was, if it is still hurting me, it is impossible for the healing to start. So, we want to be healed, the child and the parent, we want to be healed. But if we continue to feel hurt, I'm trying, in different ways, I'm trying to spend time with my child, I'm trying to communicate more with the child, I'm trying to do some special things for the child, but at the same time I'm also creating some pricking thoughts about what they did to me, then this will not work. Many times we are doing both. We are trying to spend that extra time, do a lot of extra things with the person that either we've broken their heart or they've broken ours. And but at the same time, we are also creating a lot of negative feelings, hurtful feelings. This is counterproductive. We need to really first stop these pricking needles that are pricking and bleeding our heart. Till that is not stopped, this healing will not begin. So, these few thoughts that we create, check. Every class in Brahma Kumaris, we are always asked, reflect right and there. Don't even postpone it later, because later you never get the time for yourself. You're so caught up in gadgets and people and work and just wasting time, that while you are in the class, best to keep checking and changing. So these kind of thoughts that I have spoiled, I've ruined the relationship with my child, this cannot be fixed. I think I've gone too far, I've broken the relationship, or saying, it's very hard to forget what they did to me, the kind of things they told me, the way they avoided me. I can't forget and I can't forgive. Very, very hard. Or assuming kid will never forget what I did to them. I neglected them. I was too caught up in my own selfishness. I was too busy at work, or I was too busy with everything. I didn't know how to be a good mother. The child will never forget all the things I didn't do. So they will never forgive me. These are thoughts, really dark thoughts, very negative thoughts, which will continue to hurt my heart. If the heart is not healed, relationship cannot be healed. The heart needs to create warm feelings of hope, love, enthusiasm, and joy. And if I am creating these kind of pricky thoughts, dark, cold thoughts, bitter thoughts, I can forget about healing. So the healing thoughts that we are taught at Brahma Kumaris are, we can use variety of them, but few sample thoughts. Every day at Brahma Kumaris we have a spiritual discourse. On weekdays it's rather short of half an hour, but on weekend, like on Sunday and Thursday evening too, we have a rather 1 hour long or slightly more than 1 hour long spiritual discourse, where we are taught a gazillion new ways to think positively in a very elevated manner. This is our habituated way of thinking, which is very, very low, below average. Whereas here, mistakes happened. I did make mistakes. It's not my fault either because I didn't know better at that moment. That is all I knew. I now understand that that was not the right way. But at that moment, I had no awareness. I had no clue. So whatever happened, happened. We are always taught no matter what grave mistake you did, others did, doesn't matter. Put a full stop. Thinking about past is a huge waste of time because past cannot be changed. The only changes I can make is in my present so that my future is secured. So instead of giving up and saying I cannot heal this relationship, I have to say power of love can heal every wound. It melts the heart of us. It melts the heart of a stone-hearted person. So what is a small mistake or a big mistake? It doesn't matter. Relationships can be fixed. And for me, it is very easy to forgive and forget because I'm an embodiment of love and forgiveness. My parent is ocean of love, ocean of forgiveness, ocean of mercy. So we need to really connect to our eternal true form. The true form of a soul is an embodiment of love. For that original soul, it is very easy to love and forgive. And it is very difficult for the soul to actually hold on to pain because soul's natural self is joyful, and joyful and pain don't go together. So us in our natural state we will never say I wish my heart could experience some hurt. It would feel so nice if I was hurted. I'd say, what is Meghna talking about? Has she lost it? Yes, absolutely. We don't like to experience hurt. We all like to experience love and joy. So then I need to acknowledge in meditation that I am indeed an embodiment of love, and that is why pricking thoughts don't comfort me. And not only me, every human soul is an embodiment of love and forgiveness. So, yes, I did make a mistake, but my child is also an embodiment of love. In time, they will forget and they will forgive. So till I don't cross out these thoughts, these pricky thoughts, I cannot move from hurting to healing. So I need to first stop this. That's when I will start moving towards healing. And Raj Yoga meditation is really something that works towards healing. In this meditation, we are connecting the soul to the supreme soul. And Rajoga meditation, we educate the mind. One is we also draw power from the highest spiritual energy, the source of all powers, which is supreme soul, God himself. So we withdraw or download lot of his virtues and powers in us, because in the long journey in this world cycle, the soul has lost its powers and virtues. So we draw all of that in meditation, but at the same time, we also educate our mind with a lot of spiritual knowledge. So that is why the spiritual discourse is conducted daily in Brahma Kumaris, because our mind is really an illiterate, spiritual illiterate, and so are we all. We need spiritual knowledge to educate. It's only when I educate my mind, it will be able to guide me better. Otherwise, right now, it's really generating all kinds of nonsense and dirty thoughts, junk thoughts, and that ruins our life. And you can visualize this as really, this is our supreme abode, the land of silence, nirvana. And if you visualize the analogy of a tree where the roots are the soul and the branches of the tree are the various aspects of lives that we are responsible for. So, for example, relationship is one big branch. Typically, what happens is whenever there are storms of life, or issues or challenges or crisis, we start focusing too much on those issues. And while we are focusing on those issues and challenges, we let the roots fall sick. That is, we say, obviously, I am very sad because in relationship, my child is doing X, Y, and Z. Or obviously, I'm very hurt, I'm very mad because X and Y and Z is happening in my child's life. So, when we let the disease of the branches move towards the roots, now, if the roots are sick, we all know the entire tree, that is, our entire life, will become sick. So, the issue started just in one branch. Instead of remaining healthy at the root level, I said, oh, obviously, if this is sick, I should also be sick. So, root being sick means my emotion sickness, my spiritual health is now unhealthy, my emotional health is unhealthy. So, relationship issues are bound to come. There is no escaping from it. Body issues are bound to come. Work issues are bound to come. Financial issues are bound to come. We need to ask ourselves these questions. If issues come, would I be able to solve the issues better once I fall sick? That is what we are all doing, saying, oh my gosh, obviously the relationship issues came, I am sick, I am angry, I am tired, I am worried. That is called being spiritually sick. So if I, the soul, is sick, I'm saying, okay, once I am sick, I can handle the issue better. Would we ever do that? Suppose a big work project is coming. Would we ever say, okay, how do I make my body sick? Then I'll be able to handle the work better. Doesn't make any sense, right? I'm laughing while I'm telling you this. But we are doing the exact same thing. Whenever we see issues with our body at work or relationship, we say, all right, such a big issue has come, let me fall sick, let me be sad, let me be mad, then I can take care of the relationship.
No, the water needs to be poured at the roots, not toxins. Toxins will make me sick. Toxins are basically emotions that are negative and uncomfortable. Soul is a natural embodiment of positivity. It likes only positive emotions. So when I create negative emotions through negative thoughts, I am sick. So I need to pour the water of positivity. Pay attention to my thoughts. So when we take care like this and expose the roots to the spiritual sun, our Father, eternal parent, whose ocean of peace, love, and joy, then when the roots receive nourishment of water and the light of the spiritual sun, it will help send lot of nourishments and minerals to every branch of the tree. Automatically my relationship will heal faster when the soul is healthy, when the soul's heart is filled with love, joy, and enthusiasm. Sometimes it might take time for the relationship to heal, but we add on to that time by falling sick. So I will actually cut down the time to heal if I remain healthy. This will change a lot faster when the roots are healthy. So, indeed, the only one surgeon or the spiritual healer is God. And why is God the only healer of the soul, right? Soul is a subtle entity. No physical doctor can fix the soul. It's either the soul themselves or it is God. And even soul themselves sometimes find it very hard to do it on their own. So that is why God is one supreme power that we are not at all utilizing. This energy, this divine energy is available for us to take benefit from. And I come from, I've told few times, but I don't mind repeating, that I come from a religion where the concept of God is not even there. But this knowledge and my attitude of wanting to experiment, I connected and I tried the Rajayoga meditation the way it is taught, and I saw such beautiful, healing inside. Each one of us has many wounds. We've had many lives. We only remember the wounds from this life, but not from our past lives. And a hurt soul can never have good relationships. It is always bitter in one way or the other. It is always doubtful in relationships. So when we realize that, um, God is the eternal spiritual surgeon, the one that can perform a surgery on the soul and heal it. This has been my beautiful experience. There were one or two rather close and slightly not that healthy relationships. And when I started connecting to God and understanding what might have happened in those relationships, because some of these relationships we can't understand them because we again see with our physical eyes. And it's only the knowledge that tells us that the relationship didn't get spoiled just this birth. It's a result of multiple birth carry forward. So as we sit in front of God, and this is my experience, that even the traces of hurt were removed. I don't even have anything in the memory that something bad or bitter had happened in the relationship. And the main reason for that is connecting to God. He's an infinite, never ending source. No matter how much love you draw from him, or every human soul, 8 billion souls connect to him and withdraw his love will not end. They say akut khajana. Akut means something that never finishes. It is always there. Human being soul
human soul's love quantity is very limited. It's very business like deal. Oh, I gave you that much, now I can't give you anymore because you never gave anything back. So unlimited source is only one. And the other thing is God is also an unconditional, um, gives love unconditionally, because never looks how much you gave, how much you didn't give. He gives love without any expectations. And that's the only reason his love is very pure, selfless, and unconditional. And his love is the only love which is imperishable. Birth after birth, my relationship with God will never change. With human souls, it will change. Today, the one who is my child might become my parent in next birth, or my brother or sister in next birth. We don't know. But soul can go through many lives. But the relationship with the God is always of a parent and child. The difference is we do come into the cycle of life and death, but God does not. God is beyond the cycle of life and death. And key point here is each soul is imperishable. So an imperishable soul does not get satisfied with perishable love. Any kind of this physical love or this give and take kind of love is very transient experience, and it never satisfy the soul. So once you start experimenting true meditation of in Rajayoga by connecting with God, you are able to draw that imperishable love from the imperishable divine source. And when we start connecting to God in the meditation, and these are some thoughts that I start feeling from God towards me, because God is a soul. God also has mind, intellect, and sanskara, or the subconscious mind. And as we start cleansing ourselves and we connect to this supreme soul, we will be able to catch intuitions and thoughts from the supreme soul. And God's vision, the way he looks at us, the kind of thoughts he creates for us, it heals all the wounds of the soul. And we learn the art of how should I think about myself? How should I look at others? What kind of thoughts will cause me to be wounded, like those pricky thoughts which are literally day by day bleeding my own heart? How much we must hate ourselves, to create those kind of pricky thoughts which are day by day bleeding our heart. So God teaches us to love ourselves. He says, why would you create a thought that bleeds you? Don't hurt yourself like that. Love yourself. I love you. So when we understand what it means to love ourselves, we stop pricking needles. We stop creating thoughts that are so bitter, because bitter thoughts take away the power, the confidence of the soul, and such a soul can never change. Here we are not trying to be um, irresponsible, where we are not accepting. Suppose it's possible in this parent child relationship, it's possible that I knowingly made some mistakes. So we're not trying to overlook that. But the idea here is very smart. It says, I accept my weaknesses and my mistakes, but I can't change if I keep pricking myself. If I keep reducing my willpower, my self esteem, I cannot transform. Love is the key foundation for self transformation. And God realizes that soul, the biggest thirst of the soul in this world is love. So, first thing is in meditation, reminding that we are the children of the most beautiful being. And Then slowly, as you practice this meditation, you will hear very clearly that He loves you. There are many beautiful stories in the scripture. There was this person, who was having a conversation with God, and then God says, hey, can you help me in my task by doing some physical work? And that person is, no, I can't do any physical work, my body is sick, it's very tired and old. It's like, okay, that doesn't matter, can you donate some money towards my task? This person says, no, I have no money, nothing, I am very poor. God says, it's okay, can you then give me your mind? And this person says, I can't. My mind is not in my control. It's constantly thinking very negative. Oh God, you don't know what a criminal I am. I'm worse than the worst criminal. I'm really a hopeless case. God says, it does not matter. Can you at least say that you love me, that you belong to me, and that I belong to you? Just do simple. Let's forge a loving relationship. Maintain faith in me. I can change you. I can transform you. My love will transform you. There are many beautiful scriptures written about this, that we are undermining his power. Science sometimes, I feel, has made us too logical, too rational. Sometimes emotions are needed. Devotional feelings are needed to understand spirituality. And I can't thank my own blessings for being open minded and not being too science oriented, or, the religion that told me there is no concept of God. He is indeed the most beautiful being. And in meditation, you'll be able to feel that God is telling you that you are worthy of His love. And not only worthy, you have the right, you can demand my love and attention because I'm your parent. We can't be demanding of everyone's love, but our parents, we can demand, saying, hey, I have right, I have the first right. Everybody else is secondary, but I have the first right. And I accept you. So when you say I'm the most terrible person, I did this to my child, I did that to my child, God says it's okay. Whatever happened, happened. You've told me, great, forget about it. I accept you. And not only just accepts, He will never ever let you feel that you are bad or you're mean or you're selfish. His vision, His company will make you feel you are worthy. Yes, you made a mistake, but the potential that a human soul has is unimaginable. And God knows that the potential of a human soul is to be like His Father, God Himself. So, as we start letting God heal us by maintaining faith that He's the only one who can transform me, with full honesty that yes, I did make some mistakes. And yes, it takes time for this healing, and it will take more time the more I doubt myself and I doubt God. But the more I maintain faith, the healing is exponential. It's very fast and rapid. So, in meditation, you'll also realize that He never gives up. As this journey of healing continues, you will continue to obviously make few more mistakes, but you'll see in time the number of mistakes start reducing. And He is the most patient and the most innocent teacher. He will not give up on you. Human souls give up very quickly, whereas He, with His love and patience, slowly transforms us. And that is when we learn the art of healing. The healer within instigates, that is, the soul is now awakened and it guides the mind. The illiterate mind only caused me to prick needles in my own heart. And now, this instigation of the healer within
will guide the mind and tell, hey, mind, no, I don't hate myself. Don't prick such thorny thoughts. Let's create these kind of thoughts instead. And then the healing really begins. With that, um, I wanted to now pause and see if you had any questions. And so please feel free to unmute yourself, or type your question on the chat room or on the Q&A board, and I'm happy to take those up if you have any. Anybody has a question? Have you all, is there anybody who's not taken the Raj Yoga meditation course yet? No, looks like all of you have taken the course already. That's fantastic. Um, and I hope you are all able to get some time to practice meditation every day. We do a group meditation every day at 4 a.m. And feel free to contact the center to get the Zoom link to join these meditations. So there is a question. Sometimes we let a child follow his passion and that hurts in school. How do we get over that feeling? So do you mean by academic, they start not doing that well in academic, and you kind of feel guilty that you, so he's not able to perform completely. Okay, so they're doing some extracurricular activity, some passion, and as a result they're not doing that well in that whatever that extracurricular activity is, and their academics is also suffering. um, Again, I think we generally value life based on academics, grades, and everything else, what college they're getting into. Yes, they do matter, but we should certainly, whatever, supporting the child in their passion is very important. Maintaining that good relationship. Yes, if you can get both, like, also uh, let them do both, like also pursue their passion but not neglect the studies too much. If you can do both, great. But if you cannot, if the child is very hell-bent on spending extra time, could be tennis, could be music, could be anything, it really does build a lot of stronger connection with the child to be supportive. And after supporting, now if you become unsupportive by saying, see, I didn't want you to do it, now what have you done, you've ruined your life, then it really spoils everything that you have done. They can always catch up and they can make up. Whole life is there for it. So maintain faith that it's okay. This is short term. They saw some setback, they will make up for it. I really never started studying till I was in ninth grade or something. And even after that, like really, I did my undergrad as an engineer. I took it very lightly. But yet, eventually, I did get a little serious and I made up for it. But most important is their attitude should be very positive, their relationship should be loving. When those two are healthy, it is bound to happen that their career will be good. They will do everything to make sure that they are financially strong. But yeah, let their attitude not be of demotivation, or laziness or carelessness.
As long as those are not there, it's a matter of time they will start shining. All right. So I'll go ahead and maybe we can do a short meditation. Um, so please join me for this meditation. I'm a divine being of light. My form is subtle. My qualities are subtle. Yet these subtle qualities show up on the physical form when I, the soul, is experiencing pure love. The face, the eyes, the lips will show my divinity, the royalty, the purity. And when the heart is filled with revenge, lust, the face, the eyes show that expression. I, the subtle being, has a huge impact on the expressions of the body, on every cell of the body. My subtle qualities change the relationship, the quality of the relationship. If the expression is filled with love, if the language is of love, that relationship is very comforting. Similarly, when I forget my natural quality and I use hatred as the expression or the language, that relationship breaks, it gets wounded. So I need to disconnect from all the branches of life and go to the roots, detached from everything. Take care of my qualities, water my qualities, that I am pure, I am peace, I am love, I am joy, I am wise, I am power. And then connect to the branches of life. My qualities will flow through every branch of life and make the greens, make the leaves green. That is, every sphere of my life will blossom and become healthy. I am a smart being that pours water at the root level in meditation to make the life, the tree, green and healthy. Thank you all for joining me today. I'll see you all next week for the last class. Hope you have a wonderful week ahead.